Choosing a higher timeline and choosing the 5D and beyond timeline means being anchored in your power and your sovereignty. It means you cannot be identified with any of the matrix programmings that governs their grid. In order to be anchored or to choose a higher timeline, you would have to be willing to let go of everything within the 3D grid. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to still exist, or, you know, you're not going to have a job or things of that nature. Now, the type of job that you're going to have, that in order to live on a higher frequency timeline, is different than the matrix timeline. The type of jobs that the matrix timeline will give you is jobs that will keep you looping and lack, keep you looping and struggle, keep looping your energy and draining you. When you go to higher timelines, the type of work that you do is more based in alignment. It's more in service. It's more working for yourself, or, having your own business, but it's in alignment, with your calling, with your gifts, with service to others. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. It doesn't mean you're not going to still be operating or through some means and having a job and having a life and things like that. Now, also with relationships, no longer being in the matrix grid means no more distortion within your relationships or your family dynamics or your friendships. Okay, it means having more fulfilled, balanced, better quality relationships when you are in a higher timeline. Now, you can't have that with everybody. Some people you're going to have to let go of. There are things in order to exist in a higher timeline, you have to let go of things and you have to be okay with it. Whether that's people, places, or things, you have to let it go. Because even though you've integrated into that higher timeline, it does not mean that everything in your life is going to come with you to that higher way of living or that higher timeline. You get what I'm saying? So there are many people that they're not ready. They're not ready to leave behind some of the matrix identifications or toxicity or distortion and illusions and things of that nature. And that's their right. But, if you're choosing something differently for yourself, you have to be okay with letting everything change and crash and burn within your life in order to merge and integrate and anchor within that higher timeline, because you'll attract and magnetize all of those things that are fulfilling on that level. There'll be better quality experiences, people, places, things. Your finances will be different. You're not in struggle anymore. You're not in lack. You're not operating from a place of brokenness or poverty. You're not claiming victimhood. You understand that you're the master and the creator of your own reality. You stand firmly in your power and your sovereignty. These are just, some of the things that exist with living on a higher timeline. Whereas the matrix, it's the opposite. Many people are still running off of different programs and patterns of fear and distortion or jealousy and envy or, lack and poverty, and you name it, and it just means you are doing away with all that and willing to do away with all that. And like I was saying in a previous video, ascension is the process of choosing to leave behind the matrix 3D grid and the lower heavy density. It means ascending to higher timelines, because if you step out of the 3D grid and you recognize all of the other realities and realms and dimensions, you realize that they don't operate by the same laws. The 3D grid operates by particular laws, okay, that are set within a law, was set within a grid. Whether that's struggle, whether that's fear, whether that's just certain heavy base density emotions, It doesn't mean when you step out of the matrix grid, you're not going to have emotions. You're still going to be a being, but just a being with a full array of senses. And it means you're just not operating from lower base energies, from lower base density or spaces within yourself. Okay, you are healed, you are whole, you are more, and you stand firmly in you're nurturing, your love, you emanate that, you stand firmly in your power, you're healed. Okay, where the 3D matrix is not encompassing or advocating for healing. It doesn't advocate for healing, it advocates for brokenness. If you feel broken, they want you to go take a drug, or they want you to go talk about your problems or something. They don't want you to transcend it or release it, or everything within the grid is to keep it still running, because human beings are the conduit for the grid. If the masses of beings were not ingrained within the grid, then the grid could not exist, right? So they have to keep a lot of distortion and distractions and keep looping fear, and they literally broadcast frequencies across the globe of fear, of survival, of all of these heavy base densities, so that they could keep humanity, these beings, anchored. Because even when you shift to higher timelines, there's a process of anchoring. You have to anchor in those higher timelines in the grid, right? Your energy needs to be anchored. So as I was saying in a previous video, just because you have made the shift, it doesn't mean automatically right then and there that you're not going to experience some of the residue of the old timeline, because you still need to be anchored. You're going through an integration process into the new timeline, so now you need to be anchored within it. It's the same process, that's how it operates, as energetic laws, and so even within this grid, they have so many beings anchored within the matrix. So when you are starting to rise and transcend, and their grip is being loosened, they feel it. They feel it in the energetic atmosphere, and they start to broadcast intensity of heavy based density and emotions to keep human beings basically anchoring backwards, to try to get you to anchor backwards, So that's the process of what's been going on. I think it's very important for everyone to be mindful of that at this time. When you are feeling any type of emotions or anything that is dense, just heavy, dense, understand that it doesn't belong to you. It's not you. And understand that, yes, there are things that are going on behind the scenes. Life is not on the surface. Life is heavy. Life is deep, is what I mean. Life is deep. It's everything is not surface, It's not surface how they have distracted most of humanity, okay? And I'm just speaking for the people that may still be distracted. Life is not surface. It's deeper layers to it, okay? And the planet is going through a shift, and there are many that have already made the shift to these higher timelines and are now anchoring themselves into it, myself included. And there are many that are choosing not to, or that have not, or probably don't know what's going on, and are just still stuck within the 3D grid nonsense or noise, but maybe they want to get out of it. So this part of the video, I'm just saying it for y'all, educate yourself, okay? There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes. The way things are being operated, energy plays a part in everything. Your energy is important, and trust me, your energy is very much important to this grid, because it's human beings that are powering the grid. Energy is the currency, not money. Money is not the currency like we've been taught. They programmed us in that way within this grid, to be so consumed with money so we wouldn't realize the true currency. The true currency is our energy. And that's the stuff that they love. That's the stuff that they siphon. When I say they, I mean the energetic beings, or the energetic parasites, rather, that operate this grid. Okay? Yes, this grid is being operated behind the scenes by energetic, beings. That's just what it is. It's a whole energetic reality and world outside, okay, of your everyday life. It's a lot that's going on that we can tap into if we are willing to tap into. And so just be mindful of that and educate yourself. And check out my website, matter of fact, because I do energetic field readings, I do energetic clearings sessions, and this is my mission work as well, and just teaching people about what goes on in the energetic realm, and in the energetic realms, period, what goes on behind the scenes, and understanding the importance of in the integrity of your energetic field, understanding what it takes to be on top of your energetic field, or to ascend to higher timelines, to tap into your innate gifts, to be aligned and encompassed in clarity. I have a lot of courses, I have many courses rather, that I train and I help people with recognizing the patterns within their own field, things that need to be released and things of that nature. Many people are having a lot of external influence, attachments, and things of that nature that are disturbing them. They are looping. They don't even really understand it. So for me, that's something that I do within my sessions. I tap into your field and I help you see the patterns within your field that are hindering you, that are holding you back, whether it's messing with your finances, it's messing with particular areas in your life, things of that nature. Everything is energy. Everything operates on energy. Okay? And when you are having any kind of issues within your life, within your daily life period, it is always tied and to how you are operating within your field, or what is within your field. The type of emotions or things that you're carrying, belief systems, programs, habitual patterns, things of that nature. This matrix is not designed to try to get people to release things. They want you to be distorted. They want your field to be distorted. They want you to keep looping. They want you distracted. Okay? They want you bombarded. They want you feeling confused and, inferior, and all of these different tactical emotions. They want your field suppressed and bombarded. Okay? And we have to understand, if you want to reach higher levels of being or fulfillment, you have to be willing to face yourself, look at what's going on within your field, be willing to, release the patterns, go through the clearing process, and some people don't know, or are able to see what's going on. And for me, because I had to grow up within the energetics, realm, and within this physical reality at the same time, I had a lot of time to grow and expand and learn how energy operates and how things operate behind the scenes. So for me, this is my life path. I've chosen to exist in higher states of being and consciousness because this is just me. This is my DNA. This is my makeup. And I have been through a lot in my life for choosing this path. But for me, it is worthy. It is worthy for me because I don't know anything else. And I was also born this way. I was born as someone who could see energy. I came in already tapped into different multidimensional capabilities that I already had. So I had to navigate that reality and that world and grow up and experience many otherworldly things that was so-called unnatural according to the 3D matrix, and then learn that all of this stuff was more natural than what's going on in the 3D matrix. And these are things that I'm trying to teach people, because you have to understand the planet is shifting. The planet is already shifting, okay? And the ascension process is going to higher timelines. The ascension process is about, rather, choosing to embody higher frequencies and choosing to ascend to higher timelines. The 3D grid makes it seem like ascension is this crazy nonsensical thing, whatever it is that they formulated, but that's not what it is. Okay, ascension is about choosing to no longer be operating in the heavy dense grid, which is the matrix, and choosing to ascend to the higher timelines. If the planet is ascending, think about it. If the planet is ascending and it's only growing rapidly in ascension, and there are many of us beings that are already choosing or being integrated into the higher timelines, and there are many that are choosing to stay in the 3D realities or matrix, what do you think is going to happen to those that are choosing to stay? Because the planet is shifting, right? It's shifting into higher octaves of frequency, and there's a process that's undergoing where many beings are choosing to elevate themselves now to reach these higher multitudes of frequency and to exist and stabilize themselves within these higher timelines. What is going to happen to those that are choosing not to make that transition? So just think about that for those that are thinking, that aren't thinking like that, and that are still playing in the 3D matrix as if they still have time to keep looping and playing with these programs. So that this part of the video, I just want to speak for, because I feel there might be some people out there that just don't have the knowledge, that don't know what's going on, that don't really understand it. And this part of the video is for y'all. Check out my website at theremigate.com. I will put a link in the description or something like that, because just check out the type of courses that I provide. Like I said, this is my mission work, and I just want to assist whoever that I can with just getting back to a state of wholeness and alignment within yourself. A state of wholeness and alignment and embodiment with yourself. So you can check out my courses there. You can book a session with me. You can book an energetic field reading if you want, or I even do clearing sessions as well. And I have some intuitive art that I create that all ties into everything. Very empowering art that each has a story, a piece. I have a book that you can purchase, and it's also aligned with my work, clarity and integration. And that's that.